Ecco2k, a proud member of Drain Gang, stands out for his unique vocals, which sound powerful and sharp, but fragile at the same time. Most of you might already guess this, but a large part of the unique vocal sound he has adopted is actually his real voice, and because of that, it can't be replicated so easily. With this video, we are going to analyze Ecco's vocals and try to build a similar vocal chain, resembling his unique style. First of all, we need to analyze his original vocals on Peroxide to understand what elements need to be added to our own vocal chain. For this reason, I applied Ozone Imager to look at the width of his vocals inside the stereo field. As we can see, his main vocals stay relatively narrow in the center of the stereo field and only get wider with his adlibs. You can also hear the use of autotune, but I assume it was only used slightly. I think this because he seems to be able to pitch his voice up to such an extent that it almost feels unnatural, which makes him less dependent on heavy autotune. Besides that, I think his vocal chain isn't that special, because he can create this very distinct sound even without many effects. Now it's time to prove our assumptions by working with some raw vocals. At the bus stop, crushing rocks, crush, 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 crush. They would stare at me, I don't care at all. Everywhere I go, they look at me wrong. Every day go the same, gotta stay strong. At the bus stop, crushing rocks. They all stare at me, and I don't care at all. Here we have our raw vocal recording, on which we can apply our assumed Ecco2k vocal chain. We start by applying a noise gate to get rid of quiet sounds that might pollute the recording. Next, we use an EQ to clean up the low end. After cleaning up the vocals, I used Logic's stock pitch correction, selected the correct key and adjusted the response time until it fits our assumption of only slight autotune usage. To get rid of harsh S sounds, we use a de-esser and lower the threshold until the annoying frequencies are no longer audible. In the next step, we get to the most important part of the vocal chain, which is compression. We use two different types of compression. The first one is a fast compressor, the Studio FET, and the second one is a slower compressor in the form of the infamous LA2A. The goal of the Studio FET compression is to compensate for peaks in the audio signal in order to achieve a more consistent vocal. For this reason, we use a fast attack as well as a fast release time. In comparison, the LA2A does not allow us to control attack and release times, which is fine since we only wanted to make the signal denser. I decided to use a preset that sounded good to my ears, and with that, the compression stage was done. Take a listen to the impact these compressors have on our vocal. At the bus stop, crushing rose. At the bus stop, crushing rose. Crush, 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 crush. Crush, crush. After compression, we can move on to the saturation stage, which in my case consists of Saturn and fresh air. Inside Saturn, I created a band for the upper half of the frequency range and turned up the drive knob just slightly. Similar to the first saturation stage, we stay subtle with fresh air, only turning up the mid and high air knobs slightly to match the tone of Ecco's vocals. After that, to stay safe, I decided to use another de-esser to remove any newly occurring harsh frequencies, as well as another EQ to make sure no low end is coming through the saturation stage. That's the main vocal chain, but we still need to implement the slight reverb and delay that can be heard on Ecco's vocals. To do this, we don't want to apply reverb directly to the main vocal chain, because this would cause the lyrics to become unrecognizable or sound washed out. For this reason, we use buses to apply reverb and delay on separate channels. Instead of replacing part of the main vocal with reverb, this allows us to add ambience without affecting the clarity of the vocal. I decided to use Logic's stock Quantec Room Simulator and clicked through the presets until I found one similar to the reverb heard on Ecco's vocals. The reverb is followed by an EQ to make sure no low end is coming from the bus. Since we don't want the reverb to be present while the vocal is playing, we apply a compressor sidechain to the main vocal track. This causes the reverb to duck whenever the vocal is present, preventing it from washing out the main vocal. Similar to the reverb bus, we move on to the delay bus, where I use a simple echo followed by an EQ and the same compressor sidechain to the main vocal. That's the finished vocal chain inspired by Ecco2k. Feel free to share your own tips and tricks in the comments. I'm sure that with a slightly better sounding voice than mine, this vocal chain will work great for you, so feel free to copy it. That's it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
At the bus stop, crushing rocks, crush, 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 crush. They will stab me, I don't care at all. Everywhere I go, they look at me wrong. Every day go the same, gotta stay strong.